What's going on YouTube? This is TYP336 here, bringing you a video I'd like to entitle the bad player style, aka excuses. This video was inspired by Courtney Waller from his video you've probably seen on his channel called the Bad Player Motto, but I still won. This is kind of like a going further on with what he was talking about, just like going more in depth with it. First off, a couple shouts. First off, you get Master 1987, Courtney Waller, it's my brother. I can't wait for National so I can chill with him again. Sorry, I thought I had to sneeze. Sorry, YouTube allergies been kicking my ass for like ever. Shout out to a new channel for my locals, the Nova Games. That's my boy Drew. Go check out his channel, show him love. He's just now starting out as a YouTuber. So go subscribe and show him support. Two other shouts go to Spoofy29 and Robert Bryant, aka Dark Rob. You know him from YCS Atlanta. He top 16 with Dark World using silvers and golds. Shout out to both of them. I'll be rooming with them for Nats. So Spoofy, can't wait to chill with you and Rob. It's gonna be epic. I'm sorry, YouTube bot. Okay, I'm good. Okay, onto the video. There's just a few points I just wanted to go on, and I've got some notes here. I'm sorry, I'm cheating. First thing I want to get to is just the misuse of power cards. It's when I'm saying the misuse, just when people foolishly will foolishly waste power cards and then have no weight of capitalizing or gaining an advantage back after they've used certain power cards. Like your opponent has two or maybe even just one monster on board, and you feel like you can't, and for some reason you feel like you can't deal with that, even though there's probably other options in your hand. But if there's no other option in your hand, say example, you're facing down a Sabersaurus. If you really have to waste a Dark Hole on a Sabersaurus, then what are you going to do about the rest of the Dino Rabbit deck when it comes time to face the rest of it? If you can't deal with it, then what makes you think you're going to be able to deal with the rest of what they have to do? And the same thing, I'm stealing this from Tyree Tinsley. It's the same thing when people will set two back rows and set set a monster or something, or not even set a monster, just set two and pass. And you're sitting there with a heavy storm in your hand. Most people will do one of two things. They'll either try to bait out the back rows with monsters. They will summon the monster, see if they trigger anything like a torrential or a bottomless or something of that nature, just so they can probably chain MST from their hand. That's what a good person would do, more than likely. What I see people do, they get so scared of just two back row. They're just like, oh, and it's like heavy storm. It's just like, okay, and I'm just like, okay, you're going up against a deck that's using a lot of traps, a lot of back row protection, a lot of back row stuff they can use to off you from this game, and you're gonna waste a heavy storm on two cards. Mind you, most players, when they feel when their opponent has a heavy storm in their hand, they will set the worst two possible cards in their hand. Just a little heads up for people who don't know how to really play around who've never known how to play around a heavy storm. That's what good players do. But I've noticed just like I've noticed like with kids from like kids and like other people from my locals and stuff, they will misuse power cards. And just and the one excuse they'll have is I could not get over that one card. But it's so early on in the game. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to see. It's frustrating to watch. I'm not gonna name any names because I don't want anybody coming out. This isn't like a jab to anybody at my locals or anything. I respect everybody at my locals and everything. My I try my best to like most of the people right now I'm taking under my wing. So this is not a jab to anybody at all. But just the misuse of power cards is just it slightly irks me just to see somebody just like one thing that still just gets me just blind MST. Why? What what good what good does it do if you're looking at a back row of 3 to 4 cards? What good is it gonna do to MST? One card. One. And most players I've talked to about this, they'll be like, "Oh well, look if luck's on my side. If luck is on my side, I could hit something really important." Okay, you've got a 1 out of 4 or a 1 out of 3 chance to hit something that's worth something, and more than likely, even if you do hit something that's good, they probably got something even just as good, if not better, than that card that you hit. And okay, going on to my second point, and this is stealing from Courtney, the bad player motto, but I still won. I try to talk to one of my teammates about it, and honestly annoyed me. He didn't take it seriously because I went to his house. I sat down and talked to him about it because I was just got done watching. I'm sorry, I'm still a little sick. I've been sick for the past like 2 3 weeks. That's why I haven't done like face videos like this. But I was sitting down talking to him about it. Like I was telling him about Courtney's video and everything, and what points he touched on, and he's like, "What does it matter? The person still wins the game." I'm thinking, it just made me scratch my head. Just like, so you, I even asked him, you would torrential your entire board if your opponent got one good monster out on the field that you didn't want there. So and something not even it's like not even like something that's gonna hurt you that bad that you can deal with that you could deal with what you have on the field, but you want that one monster gone that badly. And he's like, "Yes, I would." I'm just like, what's the point of torrentialing your entire board, completely minusing yourself and leaving yourself and possibly leaving yourself to top decking? Because more than likely, it took a good bit of your hand to accumulate that many monsters on the field, and more than likely you had back row set as well. So more than likely you got 1 to 2 cards in hand, or possibly top decking at this point. So I don't understand why he didn't take it seriously. And we sat down and we played, and it was Dark World mirror match, and he card destructions me. Like he top decks the card destruction. Well, he had cards in hand, but he drew that. That was going to be his only out for that. He draws the card destruction, and he gets rid of so many just power cards for Dark Worlds. He had he only had only 2 Dark World monsters that he could have got effects off of. And I was sitting there with 3 Brows and a Snow and a Grapha in hand. Looking at his hand, he had 2 Gates and the 2 Dark World monsters. I believe it was a Grapha and a Snow. He had 2 Gates, a Dragdown, what was the other card? I believe it was a Smog. I'm just like, like, it just irritating me. Just like, why play that one card destruction that's going to help me, and you're getting rid of so much power out of your hand just for that one card, just because of that one card's effect. And we on to end up winning that game because I couldn't ever get a monster on the field for my graphics that was in my graveyard. And he was just like, but I still won. I'm like, you wasted so much power. He's like, but I still won. And at that time, I just gave it up. I'm just like, and I just got so frustrated and annoyed with it. I'm just like, whatever. Excuse me. I'm not dying YouTube, not by any means. Point 3, I want to get to excuses we're given to why our opponent lost. Some excuses I've heard. Well, you luck sacked or you top decked. Okay, you're playing a game that's based on luck. It's gonna, if no one's filled you in, here's your heads up. This game, Yu-Gi-Oh, the trading card game that was created by Konami, is a game of luck. Always has, always will be. It's just how the cards are dealt, and thanks to what we know, like competitive players know, and probably the mediocre players as well, as the dice roll. As long as those two elements are still in this game, it will always be a game of luck. So that is not a good excuse to say, "Oh, you top decked," or you sacked me," blah 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 blah. No, that's not a good logical excuse in my eyes. Another one is, well, you drew into everything. Well, I mean, that again goes back to luck. You looked into the right hand. You looked into a perfect hand or a broken hand or whatever. And like when you're playing the game, when you're sitting down playing the game, it's not okay for you. Like, this is gonna sound kind of bad, probably, but it's okay for you to have a perfect, for me not to have a perfect hand, but it's okay for you. No, that's, in their eyes, that's a good game. No, that's not a good game. A good game is when it takes thought, skill, and a lot of grinding out to win the game. That's a good game. You just drawing everything and me not drawing anything. That's not a good game. That's just you really playing with yourself. And I believe that's pretty much all the issues I was going to point out in this. I'm sorry for the stutter and the coughing. Like I said, I've just been really sick a lot lately. But yeah, if there's anything I didn't touch on that you would like me to touch on, I'll make a part 2 to this. If you enjoyed it, thumbs up the video. And yeah, this is TYP336. Sign out. Remember, ain't pro ain't us. Deuces, guys.